When the night fears my soul, I'll be home, I'll be home.
That is Bedouin Soundclash, one of the amazing Canadian acts that will be performing live on the Countdown to 2025, New Year's Eve on CHCH. And one of the band members, Jay Malinowski, joins us now from Victoria, BC with more. Good morning to you, and thanks for getting up so very early for us this morning.
Anything for you guys. Good morning.
Thank you. Let's give us a little background on the band. You formed at Queen's University?
Yeah, that's right. We formed at Queen's University in 2000. Well, when we started there in 2000, so over 20 years ago. And we just kept going, which we never expected to. We thought we might have 2 or 3 years after graduating to play and then go get jobs, and we're still here. So, some of us.
and who's the we that you talk about? Tell us who the we is.
When we started, it was our drummer was Pat Pengelly, bassist is still Ian Sinclair, we formed. We were living. Ian was just one of my friends living across the hallway in residence, and we started trading records and started a band and just for fun, and the rest is history.
Where's the name come from?
There was a dub artist. He's based in New York, an Israeli dub artist named Raz Messenai, who, because of his roots in Israel, he was incorporating a lot of Bedouin instrumentation, which is a nomadic desert tribe that uses a lot of hand percussion. When we first started playing, we didn't have a drummer. We were just like playing stuff with our hands, and I was like, oh, this kind of sounds like Bedouin Soundclash. We thought it was such a cool name. We didn't really have any expectations. We had a show that night. We're like, we need a name. We used it, as well as we really didn't expect to be playing this long. So it's been confusing people ever since. Yeah.
It's great that you've been playing this long. At what point, what was the big kind of push that kind of pushed you guys to the top?
There's been so many. I think that the first one that I think really pushed us was Radio 1 in England started playing us on daytime radio, and that was when that sort of precursed everything happening in Canada. And I remember we went over to England, and there was like 2,000 kids at this festival we were playing that knew all the words, and that was the first time I remember thinking, wow, this is like taking on a life of its own that's bigger than us. So I always do credit England for it, but I mean, that's not to say that we are Canadian. We love Canada. So,
do you think it's because of the kind of the ska movement there is so much bigger than it is here?
You're totally spot on. That's totally true, and that's where all the records that we loved growing up come from. We know whether it was the Clash, the Specials. So much of that Windrush, the people leaving the West Indies and coming to England and creating music with English people, that whole collaborative scene affected so much of both Ian and I's musical taste independently growing up here in Canada. So yeah, I know. So it was such when they embraced us, it was like a dream come true, for us.
And you went on a bit of a hiatus over the years. You haven't been making music all this time. You were on a bit of a 9-year break.
Yeah, we in 2012 we sort of decided to just call it quits for a bit, and we came back together in 2018 and recorded an album down in New Orleans with Preservation Hall Jazz Band called Mass, and that kind of was our reintegration into as a band being hermits. So yeah.
And now, right after the show on CHCH on New Year's Eve, you're doing a number of smaller venues across Ontario in spots that don't normally get big names like yours.
Yeah, we're doing, and please come out, anyone watching this, we're doing Peterborough, Clinton, really small towns. We've done this before, and it was one of our favorite tours to do. We stripped down these sets, so it's just acoustic, kind of more storytelling. in intimate venues, like 100, 200 seat places. And it's really nice for us. I mean, we get to, first of all, sort of see parts of Ontario that we haven't seen since we were 18 and traveling in a minivan with our CDs in the back. And so we really look forward to it. That's coming up this January.
Okay. After our show on New Year's Eve. Thanks so much,
Yes.
Jay. So nice to talk to you, to find out a little bit more about the music that I love so much. And you can catch Bedouin Soundclash along with Death from Above, 1979, and Basia Bulat on the Countdown to 2025 with host George Strombouloupolos. That's New Year's Eve on CHCH, starting at 11:10.